Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. As the review says, this is as the title says, this is a review on the 88 original palette. This one I got off eBay, but it's also available at Coastal Scents. It's called the original palette, and it's available at BH Cosmetics, Sedona Lace, just to name a few. I know there are lots of upcoming pages and businesses that carry these. So this is what the palette looks like. It comes with two sponge applicators, a really good size mirror. The plastic comes over the shadows, and this is what the shadows look like. And yes, this one, my palette actually fell, and some of the shadows did not shatter altogether, but they broke. So that's why you'll see some of them looking so crazy. Now, I use this product for this palette for a couple looks in the past, but each week I'm using different set of eyeshadows, and for last week I used this palette for the whole week to do all my make eyeshadow looks. And so I think I've used it quite a bit that I can give you an honest review. Now, this palette retails for in the US for somewhere close to between, I would say, like $11–12 to about $20, depending on where you purchase it and if you get it on sale. In Trinidad, it can range from like $120, $130 to about $200. So you can check local places in Trinidad if you're interested in purchasing. Now, this palette comes with 3 different shimmers, so that's one thing that I liked about it. Some shadows are matte. A lot of them I think are matte. You get shimmers, very few shimmers, like this blue here is just one of the shimmery colors, and a lot of satin. I love satin finishes, and matte are my favorite. These here are metallic. The grays are metallic. So it's matte, satin, shimmer, and metallic. So that's 4 finishes that you get in this particular palette, and you get a wide variety of colors. You have your highlighting colors, and these generally are the lower ones, and then coming on the side. And then you get your neutral colors here, also with your silvers for smoky, and this is like a matte black, but it's not really a true black. Then in the middle here now you have your bright colors, and then it gets lighter. They get lighter as you go down closer to the center of the palette. And a lot of these shadows are pretty pigmented. I must say I am pretty pleased with their pigmentation. My everyday routine for eye makeup consists of primer, a base, and then I apply. So it doesn't really matter which brand of eyeshadow I use. I always prime, I always put a base before putting on my eyeshadows. I find that combination works best. I also use the e.l.f. mineral primer, and I find that when I use it with like say a MAC paint pot, or recently the Maybelline eye tattoos, the primer my shadow stays on much longer, as against if I use the mineral primer, e.l.f. mineral primer with my NYX Jumbo pencil. If I use like Urban Decay or Too Faced Shadow Insurance primer, I could use my NYX without it creasing. If I use the e.l.f. and the NYX, I find that my eyes do crease. So for the e.l.f., I know the MAC paint pots and the Maybelline color tattoos work really well. So I use that combination with these shadows. But because I use it predominantly for work, my go-to colors actually in this palette consisted of these colors here, like in this area right here, not including the silver, and then some of these here. So I actually use this color, even though it got a little cracked. I use this color as a blending color because it a transitional color, sorry, because it was it's matte, and then I use like these here as my highlighting colors. I also use some of the one day I use these peaches, and I think I told you that in one of my videos. Now, pros of this palette is that I think it's really like convenient. You get 4 finishes in one palette, and you can make a lot of eye looks combinations with it. But if you the con is that, and this is not necessarily a bad con, but a con for me actually is the fact that I am more of a neutral person, and even if I do looks, I will more go with like a bright color and then use like a dark color. You will not see me wearing all purples and pink and blue on a regular basis, because I work 5 days a week, and I realize even on weekends and all of that, I tend to gravitate to when like the neutral look. Very few times I would wear like bright colors, and then I try to add a pop of color in my like over the weekend, like with liner or something like that. So for me, the most of the colors, because they are so bright, they don't get used. So I feel like if I'm doing injustice not to the palette, so the palette is not doing injustice to me, I think I am doing injustice to the palette by not being able to use it as it should be used, or get the use out of it as it should. And I've had this palette actually for a year plus, and I tend to just gravitate towards the neutral colors. So you have colors here that have never been touched. They may have been swatched to check the pigmentation, but quite a few of them have not even been touched at all, because I just want to use it. I swatched this red because I thought, oh my gosh, it was such a really bright, bold red, and it's very pigmented. And I think the red below it has never been touched. This color has not been touched. This color has not been touched. These two, this row here, purples, I think this one I swatched with my fingers. Some of the blues and greens have never been touched. This whole row of pink here, this section here have not been touched. Some of these greens, they have not been touched either. So technically this is not, I would recommend this palette for those who per se don't wear bright colors on a regular basis, or those who don't wear bright colors at all. I would definitely recommend this though for those of you who do wear bright colors and neutral colors. This is like perfect palette for you, in that you get a variety of finishes and you get a variety of colors, and red, yellow, blue, those bright colors, they're really pigmented in this palette. I'll definitely recommend this palette to you if you are of that, you know, if you like those kind. If you're a neutral person, I would hold back on purchasing this. I plan to do a review on the 88 Warm, the Metal Mania. I have the Garden palette also, and I think I have 2 more. A really bright colored one, and then another one. I'm not sure what's the name of that. If it's a cool or matte from BH. I have 2 from BH Cosmetics. So I'll definitely do a review on those and let you, you know, if you guys are interested. I can also maybe do a comparison between the palettes. But I'll also like to do something. I would not be using this palette much. That's the truth. I would not be going back to it. So if anyone is interested in getting this palette, it is used. I will spray it out with alcohol. I suggest you do the same. But if anyone is interested in getting this palette, I guess I'll do with the first person to comment below saying that you're interested in getting this palette. I'll ship it out to you, or the first person to inbox. Let's go with the first comment, because I don't want to say inbox and then, you know, people think, okay, I'm being partial because of whatever. Just leave it transparent. The first person to inbox me and say interested in getting this palette, if you are, yes, of course, if you commenting, you would be interested. So the first person to message me in terms of wanting this palette, I'll send this out to you. But thanks again everyone for watching. Hope this review helps you guys. Thank you. Bye bye.